Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I think after about 3 weeks I'm finally feeling better from the bug that I've had. So yeah, that's great, isn't it? So today I thought, as I've got some energy back, I would have a go at one of the sort of spooky Halloween Samhain type tags that are around. Now, I don't have a huge amount of spooky type decks, which is strange because I absolutely love horror books and horror stories and vampires, werewolves, witches, ghoulies, goblins, the whole lot. I love all of that. I love anything spooky, anything supernatural, but I don't seem to have a huge amount of those type of decks. My collection seems to be more full of the sort of cozy type decks, I guess. I've got quite a few witchy type decks, but they're not all spooky. Most of them are just sort of nature based witchy type decks. So this wasn't easy, I have to say. I pulled out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I managed to pull out 11 decks. So yeah, so I hope that you enjoy this. So this is a VR to Angel at Feeding My Soul, and she's called her video My Favourite Majors, the Spooky Edition. And I think this is sort of partly based on the hashtag 22 faves and the hashtag major favourites. And I'm pretty sure, without going back through my videos, that I have done a sort of 22 faves or a major favourites video in the past of just my general favourites of the major arcana, but this one is the spooky edition. I'm also going to tag a community tag by Tony at Antoinette Tarot and Jewellery, who's recently started one called hashtag spooky season tags, and I think she's hoping that if you record a video along the spooky lines that you will tag her so she can add it to her playlist, I guess, of spooky type tags. So there we go. Without further ado, there was also, I must just say, I'm pretty sure that Angel mentioned 3 different channels that perhaps were the creators of the 22 faves and major favourites tags. I can't for the life of me remember who those people are at the moment, but I will link Angel's video in my description box as well as Tony's, and you can go there and have a look for the original people. But this is the spooky edition started by Angel at Feeding My Soul. So I will admit, I've got more than 22 cards here. I think there were a couple I just couldn't choose. So yeah, that's always how it is with me. So the first card here is from, let me see which, it's from this deck here, Tarot of the Unexplained, which is a deck that I bought this year, but I haven't actually even used, but this is a perfect time of year for it. This is the Fool, and this is called the Ghost Stalker. And I chose this card really just because I can't think of anything more spooky than being alone in the forest in search of spooky things, you know, in search of ghosts. And you know, I'm fascinated by all things supernatural and ghosty, but not really on my own. So I honestly can't think of anything else that would be more spooky than being a ghost stalker on your own at night in a forest. So there's that one. Oops, I've got them around the wrong way. So the second card is from the Zombie Tarot, and this is the Magician, And I chose this card just because, to me, there is nothing more horrifying, to be honest, than the thought of some crazy, mad scientist in a lab somewhere experimenting on people, on animals, on whatever, just creating awful things, really, for humanity. And obviously with this card, there's a lot of uncertainty, isn't there, about whether this scientist here is trying to create a cure for zombies or whether he actually created the zombies in the first place, you know. So yeah, that is card number 1, the Magician. Card number 2, the High Priestess, and this comes from the Wizard's Tarot, which, if you're not familiar, I shall show you the box, because I don't see many people on YouTube with this deck. This is the Wizard's Tarot. It's by Paper de Lune, and it's a Harry Potter deck. Not a fantastic Harry Potter deck, I must admit. The images are just a little bit, they're a bit dark, I suppose, for me. I wish there was a bit more colour in this deck, but still, it's a Harry Potter deck, and I've used it a fair bit, to be honest. And the reason why I chose this is because this is Professor McGonagall. That's her name, isn't it? Professor McGonagall. And this, I think this is the scene where she roused all of the castle's warriors and statues to help defend Hogwarts, to help defend the castle when they were under threat in sort of the last couple of films, when Voldemort and his little army were trying to take over. And I just think she's a brilliant High Priestess, to be honest, because she's a tad aloof, isn't she? She's a little bit cold, but she's staunchly loyal and very skilled and very powerful. So yeah, that was a fantastic scene, wasn't it, when she magicked up all of the warriors and the statues from around the castle to fight for her. So I really like that card. The next card is from, can you guess? Probably not. I should really do that, shouldn't I, with all these? Show you the backs and see if you can guess. This is from, let me just get it. This is from the Magicians, Martyrs and Madman Tarot by Travis McHenry. And this is card number 3. This is the Empress. And I chose this card, and I'm just going to have to read a little bit from the book because I can't remember the details enough. I know the story, but this is Elizabeth Bathory, isn't it? And she was a countess in Hungary, and she tortured and killed absolutely hundreds, probably thousands of young women, virgins, around 1590 to 1610. And she was often called the female Dracula or the blood countess, as she bathed in the blood of her victims in an effort to stay young and fertile. So I just thought, what a brilliant card for the Empress for this spooky edition, really. Just the very opposite of everything that the Empress should be, really. Quite horrible. So card number 4 is from this deck, which I'm sure you'll all know. This is the Haunted House Tarot, is this one. And this is the Emperor. And I chose this card again because, for me, this is everything that an Emperor should not be, I guess, really. This is just like sheer self-entitlement, isn't it, to think that you can go out and shoot and kill all these beautiful creatures just to put their heads on your wall, or their tusks, or their skin on your floor. I mean, just disgusting. It's masculinity and emperor energy in extreme, isn't it? It's not nice. I don't like it. And for me, I think if I were to walk into a room that was full of heads of animals all over the walls, that's really icky and quite spooky, I suppose, for me. So there's that card. Oh, this is one I had to choose two for this. This is card number 5. This is the Hierophant. And I chose 2 cards for this just because I just couldn't help myself, really. One is just because it is so freaky, and the other one because, yeah, it just makes you think, really. So it's the Zombie Tarot, and it's also the mini version of the Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot. So first, the little deck here. I had to choose this just because these little monkey type toys absolutely freak me out. I can't think of anything more awful, and the fact that it's pretending to be a pope is even more awful, really. I just find this thing very spooky and very creepy. It's not the sort of toy I would have ever had or let my son have, I must admit. So there's that one. And then also again from the Zombie Tarot, and you know, I could have picked loads from the Zombie Tarot for this tag because it's just such a well thought out deck. And the reason why I like this card is because it's just like, you know, the Hierophant should be somebody who's wise, you know, a counsellor, somebody that can guide you and educate you. And really, as a lot of us know, the last place that you want to get a lot of your guidance from is the TV. It's you know, in my opinion, much of TV these days is propaganda and lies, really. So I don't watch an awful lot of mainstream TV at all. I don't have a TV license. I watch mostly YouTube, to be honest, and the odd sort of DVD and film and box set kind of thing. But yeah, I just think this is really fitting for this time of year. Is that this is very tongue-in-cheek, this card, isn't it? Because this is not a person that you would want to trust, I don't think. So that's the Hierophant. Card number 6 is the Lovers card, and this is from the Horror Tarot, which I shall show you the box of. So it's from this deck here, the Horror Tarot. And this is the Lovers card, and I chose this just because I thought it was funny. Love is grand, but it always leads to trouble. Horror Tarot presents the Lovers, a symbol of love, harmony, relationship and choices. It doesn't look like she's got a lot of choice there, really, does it? I think all of the cards in this deck come from very old sort of B movies. So, yeah, I just thought this was funny. It was cute, really. I could have equally chosen the Lovers card from the Zombie Tarot deck, because that's a brilliant card also. But I think Angel chose that, if I remember rightly. So card number 7 is from this deck here, which I don't think you will ever guess. I'm not sure that I've ever seen anybody else use it on TarotTube, but I think it's such a cute little deck. And it is this one, is the Creatures Tarot, which I bought 2 or 3 years ago, actually. And it's a really nice little reader. And this is the Chariot. There's no people in this deck. It's all just creatures and various odd animals. But It's not a particularly spooky card, is it? I just thought it was funny and a little bit spooky, maybe. This creature on the back of a snail. I just liked it. So card number 8 is the Strength card. And again, we're coming from the Wizard's Tarot with this one. And the reason why I like this one is because this is Neville, isn't it? And again, this is in the final sort of battle for Hogwarts. And he gets attacked by, I think, doesn't he? And he defeats the snake, which name has completely gone out of my head. I can't remember. But this snake is actually one of the Horcruxes, I think, isn't it? And he manages to defeat it. And, you know, Neville in many of the films was portrayed as being a little bit cowardly and a little bit bashful, but he really comes true and proves himself in the end, doesn't he? So this was a great moment of drama in this film, so I really like that card. So card number 9 is the Hermit, and again I chose 2 cards very naughtily. The Wizard's Tarot again and the Zombie Tarot. So the Zombie Tarot, I've shown this card so many times in my videos. I think it's one of my favourite all-time Hermit cards. And it's just because it reminds me of me so much. I think whatever drama was going on in the world around me, I would be happy on my sofa with a book and some chocolate and lost in my own little world, really. So even in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, I would be on my sofa with eating chocolate, I think. So there's that one. And then I had to choose this one as well because he's an amazing hermit, isn't he? This is Hagrid from Harry Potter also. And, you know, he lives on the edge of the forest. He lives on his own. He is definitely a hermity type. He sits in his little cottage sort of ruminating on things quite a lot, doesn't he? And yeah, he has his lantern when he goes into the woods. I really like that. So card number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and I've chosen from the Horror Tarot yet again. Like I said, I didn't have that many decks to choose from for this, so I've done my best. So this is the Wheel of Fortune from the Horror Tarot, and this says pick a fate, any fate. It's like the roulette wheel of life, isn't it? And I would imagine, looking at all the skulls on there. Hello, George. Come on, lovey. Don't stand on my cards. Thank you. I would imagine that probably nothing that you land on this roulette wheel is going to be fantastic, is it? So I really like that card. That's funny. So card number 11 is Justice. And again, we are with the Horror Tarot. And I really like this card. This comes from that sort of that genre of films, those sort of revenge films, doesn't it? Of which there were a lot of those about years ago. There probably still are, but I don't tend to watch them so much anymore. I like creepy, supernaturally, monstery type films rather than sort of stabby, blood-filled, yeah, that kind of horror, I suppose. But she carries a sword and scales, but she doesn't want to kill you, just give you what you deserve. Justice, she comes for us all. I think she is most definitely after revenge there, isn't she? So I like that card. Card number 12 is the Hanged Man, and I chose this deck, which is, I don't have the box anymore, but it is this deck, and it is Tarot of the Vampires, I think by Charles somebody or other, Worthington. I've probably said that wrong, I can't remember. But anyway, I had to choose this, really. I mean, you know, Dracula as a bat type creature hanging upside down, that's a brilliant image to represent the Hanged Man, isn't it? So I really like that. That's a great card. Card number 13 is Death, and I have chosen from Tarot of the Unexplained again, and I chose the Wendigo. And I know a little bit about the Wendigo. I know in American cultures, or American Indian cultures perhaps, it's sort of death personified, isn't it? Let me just see what the book says about the Wendigo. Yeah. The Wendigo is here as a guide to lead you on your next step. Are you ready to move? Take the hand of the Wendigo when it is offered, like the old Blue Oyster cult says. Don't fear the Reaper. It says this is an ancient spirit. The Wendigo is death personified. It often appears as an emaciated human, often part animal. Its rotting skin stretched so thin it looks like a skeletal zombie. And like the zombie, the mythical Wendigo is a cannibal. So that's pretty spooky, isn't it? You would not want to meet one of those, would you? Card number 14 is also from Tarot of the Unexplained, and this is the Loch Ness Monster. And this is the Temperance card, isn't it? And I really like this because it is sort of half in the water, half out of the water, isn't it? It is like a blended sort of creature that can exist on land and in the water. It says the Loch Ness Monster is a strange combination of creature. Its head is said to be horse-like. It has whale flippers, a curved back with multiple humps, a snake-like neck, and the shiny black skin of a seal. This card is all about mixing disparate elements together. Yeah. So the phenomena for this is shadows appearing from nowhere, selkie, sea monsters, sea serpents, and other creatures from the depths. I haven't actually been to Loch Ness, but I have been to Scotland. I would love to go to Loch Ness, actually. Even in the UK, though, which is, you know, very small compared to the standards of other countries in the world, it's a long, long drive to Loch Ness. It would probably take several hours, I think, from where I live. So, but I would love to go. So yeah, that is card number 14. Card number 15 is from the little, oh, I've forgotten her name, Nicoletta Ciccoli Tarot again, and this is the Devil. I just had to choose this because I just find it so awful. To think that you would be laying prone and unconscious in this creature's arm with that big tongue. That's just horrible to me. That really is. I just don't like this card at all. So card number 16 is the Tower, and this one actually comes from my Hieronymus Bosch tarot deck, which is this one, which is another Travis McHenry deck. And this is the Tower, and in this deck it's called the River to Hell, which is about movement, journey, difficulty and struggles. And I think really this card, there is nothing positive about this card. Normally with the Tower, you have your Tower moment and it's an opportunity to rebuild, isn't it? But from what I read in the guidebook for this, there's no rebuilding with this card. You are cast down into hell with all the other unfortunates and demons and creatures, and there to stay, really. So there's no redemption with this card whatsoever, which is really Quite an unpleasant thought, isn't it? So there's that one, the river to hell. Card number 17 comes from the Wizard's Tarot again. This is the Star. And I had to choose this, really. This is Hermione Granger, isn't it? I think that's her full name. And she was like a lucky star, wasn't she? She kept Harry, she kept him going even in his darkest moments. She shone like a bright light for him, didn't she? She was full of hope and perseverance and healing. She always had everything that she needed in her little bag, didn't she? And she kind of looked after them. So I just think that's a brilliant person for the Star card, isn't it? So card number 18 is the Moon. And for this I have chosen the Haunted House Tarot again. And I don't know, I just like this. So I think this is really quite dreamy and dreamlike, and it's like she's in a trance, isn't it? And that's a very spooky energy for me, I think, with the Moon, is that you can be pulled into these sort of trance-like states, into this illusionary world where, you know, you're not quite sure what you're doing or where you're going. You know, it's a card of the subconscious, isn't it? And it's all a bit mysterious. So there's also a very romantic feel about this card. I just really like it. It's a nice card. So the Sun, for card number 19, I have again chosen from the Creatures Tarot. And I chose this card just because it's so weird, isn't it? The sun is white. It's like the moon. So it's almost like not the sun. It's a strange thing in a black sky with this little creature there. It's weird, isn't it? I think that's just why I chose it, really, because most of the images of the sun are bright and colourful and warm and not spooky or scary or strange, really. They're just full of warmth and positivity. But this is weird. This could easily be the moon, couldn't it? So yeah, I just like that card. So card number 20 is the Judgment card, and this is, where is it? What have I done with the deck? It's from the Tarot Familiars deck, and this is a little Fournier deck, one that I don't use very often, but I keep it because I like all the cats and the creatures in it. But I absolutely love this card. This is hilarious. This is Judgment. The expression on that cat's face, you know, there's a sword in the Three of Hearts there, and it's just like he's looking at you as if to say, look, this is your judgment, this is your karma, this is because of all the times you didn't feed me what I want, you didn't open the door for me, you didn't stroke me and love me enough. This is like the cat, like, here, this is your destiny. This is because of what you've done or what you neglected to do for me. There's real judgment in this cat's eyes, isn't there? I really like that. And the last card, the World card, I've chosen 2 cards again. I couldn't really help myself. So we've got Tarot of the Unexplained and the Horror Tarot again. And the Tarot of the Unexplained, I chose this one because this is the Hollow Earth, and I love a good conspiracy theory, more and more of which we're finding today are truth rather than conspiracies, I think. And who knows about this one? Who knows? But for me, well, I remember reading a book, and I can't remember who it was written by, but it was called The Descent. And it was basically about people who got lost in caves and came across this race of cannibalistic type creatures, I suppose, that would come out now and again and grab people. And I don't think it's the same as the film. It was a different sort of book, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if I can see it amongst my books. Jeff Long. I think it was called The Descent. But anyway, do you know, that book scared me so much. It was so unnerving and spooky that it's just, you know, it made me research quite a lot into Hollow Earth. And I just think it's a fascinating subject, really. There's so much of our world that's unexplored. I mean, who knows? They reckon there are oceans and, you know, all sorts of things under the ground. So who knows? And then this one from the horror tarot. Again, what a scary thing. The end is here, the end of the world. I mean, it doesn't get more scary than that, really, does it? This is like almost like there's a fire, like it's burning from the inside. I just thought those two cards together were very interesting and quite scary in their own ways. So there we go. That is all of my cards. You'll have to let me know what you think, whether any of these things are spooky for you. I'm sure Angel would love it if you wanted to do a VR and show your own favourite spooky type cards. Like I said, I think I might have done a bit better if they were cosy, warm, autumnal, witchy type decks, as I seem to have quite a lot of those, but I've done my best and I really enjoyed actually having a look through all of my cards and picking these out. So do say hello. I love to hear from everybody. I love some feedback. If you haven't done a VR and you don't want to, let me know what cards you would have chosen for some of them. So anyway, I'm sending you all my love. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I will see you all again soon.